Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to Sheepdog's unfair review of this war of mine. Any of you who have been watching my series, which has just recently finished, on this game will probably know my opinion of this, which is that it's a good game. I mean, there you go. If that's all you needed to know, congratulations, it is a good game. From my own personal opinion, of course. This is a survival, base management, scavenging. It's a really interesting game. And basically the objective is to survive a war, a civil war in a city. We're going to go in. I will be pausing it at certain points, but we're going to go in and talk about the game as we do start. Okay, so here we are in the main base house where we will be living. And it's a really simple game with fairly simple mechanics. You'll get them fairly easily. It's not that difficult to pick up and play and understand. But there's something really compelling about it. I think it's the survival aspect. The kind of the struggle to survive is very, I'm not going to say impressive, but yeah. So many people living in the capital did not believe the war would come to them, but it did. The military cut off the city from the outside world. Hunger and disease are widespread. There is no running water. Sniper bullets and mortar shells are a constant threat. Marin is this guy. Lost everything in a fire that destroyed his workshop. Arisa? Fled to the capital, that's her, following the massacre of her town, only to find the capital besieged, and Katya, who came to report the war from the war zone, has befriended them in a queue at the water pump. With no estate, they decide to make the ruined building their temporary home. Now, you will have a random number of survivors and random survivors. There are quite a few. There are some I've never seen who I know exist, and some I see every single time, basically. I see Katya a lot, and I see Marin a lot as well. And yeah, and it'll start with different scenarios. So you can start in the middle of winter. You can start with really nice heat and, you know, like no worries. So it's all random, and there are ways to deal with each of them that you'll start to learn, and it's really fun. So the first thing you need to do is you need to start clearing stuff away so you can get your scavenge on, which is what we're going to go do now. Now you can see here Arika sleeps quietly and is a smoker, and you get some backstory. It fleshes out their story and stuff. It's all really depressing, but it makes you feel. It does, it really does. And that's the point of this, is to remind you about wars past and sieges like the siege of Sarajevo, which was you know, a horrible time. And you know, it does a great job of that. The only thing I'll say felt a little, I'm not going to say it felt a little bit forced, but it felt a little bit off, was that, you know, I understand that children do die in war, but it was a little bit like every single time it was, this kid has died, this kid has died, this kid, you know, look at all the dead children kind of thing. So, you know, there was a certain amount of like, holy crap, it's just children all the time, you know, like children. And it'd be nice to have just a little bit more focus on other people as well. But again, you know, end of the day. Okay, so one thing we haven't done that we're going to need to do, I haven't been talking about this, sorry. So, we'll do it here. You can see this is a scavenge point. We don't have a carry weight with because we're in our house. So you've got basic items like canned food, raw food, herbs, lockpicks. We've got components and parts, clean water, wood, electric parks, and consumables, fuel. And then these are what we have found. We can just grab all like that and take everything into it. Consumables are going to be very important for us in winter. We won't continue this playthrough. I'll probably start a new one when I stream again, or if I do another series on my YouTube channel. And basically what you want to do is you want to get everything as quickly as possible from here, because it's all, inverted commas, free. What I mean by that is everyone has a carry limit, basically. And the carry limit for most of these guys is either 10 or 12. You get a couple of people with higher carry limits, but for the most part, yeah, it's very low. So, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to basically get everything you can from here so you know what you've got and you can deal with it. Okay, so let's get this, all of these, and now the other part that you can see are... we can pause it, but you can't really see while it's paused. Okay, this is going to make... So you can see here we've got a chair, you can sit on that, they can relax on that, you can build other stuff. And this is another cool component of the game, which we'll get to as soon as he gets here. Here we go. So you can build beds, you have to sleep every day, you have to eat every couple of days at least, or you start to get very hungry and start to starve. You can get sick, you can get wounded, you need medication, you need bandages to deal with those. You've got chair, you've got heaters. Heaters very important as well. Allows us to heat the shelter so that we don't get ill. Getting ill is bad. It is medication, even the basic herbal medication, is very, very expensive. You can have a radio so you can see what's happening to the news and weather forecasts, you know, how long you have to deal with the winter or when the winter's coming. You have a crude stove, which is to cook food, like raw food. You have a moonshine still. This is so you can turn sugar and water into alcohol to trade and to occasionally use if you need to. This is what we want to build, the metal workshop. This is for weapons, self-defense, and etc. But the one we want really right now, hopefully he'll get this built. You can see here, the day ends at 8 PM. So we've still got a fair amount of time to search through everything and to make sure we have everything. You have done that. What can you do? Absolutely nothing. Go do that quickly, please. So he can now make a crowbar. Crowbar's really important for scavenging as well as for everything else. There are other things we need to make, and we should finish this off here as well. So this guy is a handyman. Basically, he uses less components and parts to build things. Massively useful, especially if you have 4 people. He's really amazing. Like, even if you have 3 people, but yeah, he's great because you can just make everything with him and have other people do other things, and he's just, you know, it means that you can build things quicker and more effectively and everything like that. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful thing right there. Okay, so Erika has almost done that. Go do this now, please. He can go do that while she... So time management's fairly important because you have a limited amount of time to do everything during the day. So it's very important to keep that in mind when you're doing everything. Now he needs to go do that while she... Crowbars this open. There is durability on things. I've never had my crowbar run out. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but there you go. So we're going to do kind of one full day. That should be enough for the video. It's quite a long game, and there's a lot involved. I will do my best to cover everything, but no promises. So hopefully we'll get all of this done. We probably won't get to that. We won't get into that, I don't think, but we should get everything else sorted pretty much. So we've almost looted everything, and you do get later you can build an axe. You may have seen it. You can build an axe, and you can chop down these and get more wood and more fuel. Very important, especially in the winter. Of course, with the cooker, you can build you can build the stove, and then you can make a filter here and kind of filter water through. That's how you get water. Water isn't actually needed to... Why? Okay, God. Yeah, no, we're really not going to get through that now. That's my bad. So water's not needed to survive per se. You don't actually eat You don't actually drink water to survive. There's no thirst gauge for anyone or anything like that. But you do, however... Let's get this up a little bit, actually. So you see we've got a valuable that's not used for anything except for bartering. We've got quite a lot of wood, which is going to be massively useful. And let's just get these up while I did not loot it. I am dumb. And I think this actually goes till 7. No, it does go to 8. Good. So you see here, these are the first initial things you can make a knife useful. Yes. It's for defensive purposes. Your lockpicks is open locks quietly, so if you're being sneaky, you might want to take lockpicks and make lockpicks. Crowbar is loud, opens doors. It also can be used as a weapon, and shovel is used for clearing these, basically. So let's do this. What we want to have made, which we haven't made because I've been distracted and doing badly, but you can see what everything needs. So chair needs just a little bit. Simple heater needs a lot of components and some wood, and you know, the rainwater collector, no point in making this now because you can't use it, unfortunately. Let's make a cooker, put it up there. I don't think we'll have the time. Rainwater collector doesn't work while it's cold. It's too cold apparently, or something. So yeah, so let's put this up before night to 6 so that we get our heating. Hopefully no one will get ill. And here's the end of the day, and we go on to the night, which is the scavenging and guard sleep phase. So we're going to have, you can see their carrying capacities, 12, 10, 10. You'll see what this means very soon when we go off to the abandoned cottage. And we will have her guard, him sleep, because he's going to do a lot of work tomorrow. He'll have the sleep badly. If you sleep in a bed, it just recovers quicker and all that stuff. So he'll make a bed tomorrow as well, and we'll get these guys sleeping in the bed. So the first place, we will take a crowbar. The first place you go to, you shouldn't encounter anything. Okay, so apparently what it doesn't like is it doesn't like recording while it's loading, which is a giant shame, but understandable, I guess. So I had to start again. I didn't do much scavenging or anything. I just pretty much ended the day quickly so I could show you guys the scavenging. Then we'll go back to the main menu. I'll talk about everything very quickly, and then that'll be the end. Okay, so basically, this is the scavenging phase. It's done at night because there are snipers during the day. You can see there's a dead body there. It's pretty grim, and the art suits it. You can see it's nothing amazing, but it's sufficient, I feel. And you'll get a lot of kind of like, they don't tend to have people just like, oh, life's shit. It tends to be a bit more holy balls. That's a lot of nice stuff. That's not what I was going to say, but this is like an amazing start, basically. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, you'll get like a little bit of backstory, and it'll say so-and-so about this and so-and-so about that, and, you know, it'll just kind of explain. Let's see if we can absolutely taking that. Get rid of that, weirdly enough. So let's see if we can go up here. We can lockpick this. I didn't actually make a crowbar. Usually I'd bring a crowbar here and just crowbar it open, but we can't. Here we go. Okay, so one of the flyers dropped on the city. It reads, "This is a zone of anti-terrorist operation. Persons remaining in the city will be treated as terrorist supporters for your own and your family's, and etc, etc." I mean, you know, not many believe them. It just gives you a little bit of story about what's going on, and you know, you'll see like a pram with stuff still left in it, or like a thing that will tell you about when the school got bombed or whatever. Well, you know, anything like that, and you know, like a whole load of kids got killed. Like, not nice stuff. Really not nice stuff. And like the thing is you know, you can say like, oh, like they're just trying to, you know, kind of get people sad and etc. And it's like, well, you know, you can say that if you like, but at the end of the day, it is truth that shit like this happens. You know, there's one incident that you hear about on the radio, which is that the market got bombed, got mortared, and like 60 people died. And that happened, that really happened in the, it was the siege of Sarajevo, I think it was. If I'm wrong on that, I do apologise. And yeah, you know, it's just like, it's not that, it's not like pandering or anything like that. It's not, you know, trying to tug your heartstrings. If that's what happens, like... And that's the thing about this game, is like you really start feeling for these guys just because you're trying to have them, so you're trying to help them survive, and it's difficult, you know. It's so easy for them to die through, you know, running into other looters who are aggressive, you know, like you know, not being able to survive, so you end up having to steal, and then you get shot by the person you're trying to steal from. You know, all this stuff can happen. So it's simple-ish when it comes to gameplay, and to a certain extent context, I guess. Content, I guess. But at the end of the day, it is massively great when it comes to, it is really, really great when it comes to the feels. Like, that's when I'm streaming and people are watching, what everyone says, this game makes me feel. And yeah, you know, if you're the kind of person who can get into that kind of thing, you know, if you can get into this and start caring about the characters you're trying to help survive, and about the other people in the, you know, that you meet in the game. You know, some people need your help, some people you can help, some people it's really dangerous to help, but you feel like you should. And that's what I love about this game, you know. Like myself, when I saw this game, I wanted to see, you know, like what it was about, and I think it was the siege of the siege of Sarajevo, where this game kind of got its origin from. And yeah, it's, you know, I've read up on that, and I was like, you know, I obviously knew about it before, but I never read up about it. I never knew exactly what happened. And it doesn't sound good. And you kind of get to experience that to a certain degree in this game. And, you know, all that aside, it's got solid gameplay. I find it extremely enjoyable to play, and it's challenging. There are a few bugs, and there are a few issues here and there, but for the most part, yeah, I find it challenging. I find it entertaining, I guess you could say. Yeah, I find it challenging. I find it entertaining. I find it gives you everything you could require of it. So in this scavenging part, see, this is night 1. It can go on for quite a lot longer than you would expect it to go. Basically, like, I've been sitting there going, come on, what the fuck, you know, it's got to be the end. I can't survive much longer. And it just keeps going, and you're just like, oh, okay. But yeah, this will, you know, personally, I've heard that people have been unsatisfied with how long it lasts. And the fact, not how long it lasts, how it ends is can be quite abrupt. And they also say, you know, oh, it doesn't have much replayability. Myself personally, I've had a lot of people requesting another series of this, and and also I've had a lot of people. Well, it's pretty easy, you just run down there. And I've had a lot of people watching more than one series of this, like really enjoying it and watching more than one series. So I guess it depends how much you like the game. And, you know, all I can say is if you want to see how much you might like the game, go watch my series on it. Go watch someone else's if you like. If you don't want to be like, oh, no, fuck you, I'm not watching your series because you're a dick. Then yeah, go watch someone else's series, and just until oh, please don't crash. Luckily, it loaded up day 2. It crashed just after day 2. So there you go. And yeah, you can see all this crap is still about and everything. So when you go out, It says, night was calm, Roman's been searching, this is what he brought back, and it adds this to your supplies. You can get raided and injured, people can get sick. You see, Roman is now hungry and tired, Bruno slept poorly and is hungry, and Erika slept poorly and was hungry. And now you've got things added to here. You've got herbal meds, which if you get a bit sick, they'll be fine. These are proper medicines, which if you get very sick, then you need to use those. And yeah, you've got all these different places that I haven't searched yet. And you can build, and you can see over here, you can upgrade. We got new people. Bruno's a good cook. I don't know what that does. It doesn't tell you what they do, really. Sneaks quietly is fairly obvious. Trained in combat's fairly obvious. Good cook could mean that he uses less stuff to cook, or it just fills people up better. I don't know. But yeah, there is the game. I'm gonna let this run down. I'm actually wanting to like run around and loot everything, because I know that if you don't use your time wisely, a lot of the time you get screwed and things go really, really badly really quickly. But yeah, you can see it's warmer this time, and I don't need to build heating yet, but I want to build a radio so that I can keep an eye on it, so that I know in advance when to build heating. And yeah, you know, it's a really fun game. Basically, that's all I can say about it at the end of the day. And I mean, what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see someone, maybe the same company or someone, take this idea and expand it a little bit, and you know, make a whole load of places. And what I'd like to see is maybe just purely for the kind of gameplay aspect, for my own personal enjoyment, I guess you'd say, is I'd love to see them have this kind of like base type area that you can build and improve and all that, and have it be kind of a resistance, you know, like civilian resistance. You know, so you got to look after the food, and you got to look after the medical supplies, and you got to look after, you know, you've got to scavenge and stuff. But you can also go out and you can, you know, you've got to resist like foreign invaders or something, you know. And maybe you could have a whole load of different options, and you know, where to go, what to do, you know, like hurt the enemy, gather supplies, you know, raid a supply truck, whatever, you know. Just like, I think it could be really interesting. And if I'm not sure how far they could take it, but adding some form of like squad-based combat would be great too. That's just my idea. At the end of the day, I think it would be an interesting one to add into the kind of traditional base building squad combat that has gone before, to add a kind of survival element to it, add a kind of resistant, you know, you have to balance resisting a foreign power and just surviving. So I think it would be really interesting. So yeah, I mean, there is my unfair review. If you will excuse me for a moment, we'll go. I have a feeling it's going to crash if I keep recording, so we'll go back to the main menu and we'll finish things off. Okay, we're back. So there you are, guys. That is my unfair review for this war of mine. It may be slightly long, but I felt like I should take you through the beginning of the game, just for anyone new who hasn't watched my series yet. At the end of the day, do I recommend this game for the money it is? If you enjoy this style of game, if you like the look of it, yes, I do. I don't generally say that too much. I generally say, you know, like, oh, leave it till it's on sale or whatever. But I don't really have a problem recommending this game, because everyone who's watched it, who is a regular on my channel, has enjoyed it. So if you enjoy the type of games I enjoy, you will enjoy this. Basically, that's I'm fairly confident saying that. So yeah, I mean, there you go. This war of mine is a good game, in my opinion. Disagree with me if you like, but at the end of the day, it lasted me for a good 7 to 8 hours, and I've replayed it a couple of times since then on my stream, and people haven't really lost interest in it, and I'm going to be playing it again, so that's how much I enjoy it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this unfair review, and I will see you in the next video.